Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into literally everything about Roblox, Gamemode. We're stepping into a digital realm where this buttery smooth, 2D pixelated perfection meets a genuinely epic, world-altering quest. This isn't just, another game on a platform. Oh no. It is a meticulously crafted narrative experience. It's a test of ultimate endurance, and honestly, a battle to save the very foundation of a digital universe from this wild, static-filled corruption. So let's just dive right in.
Now, wrap your head around this number. 800 trillion. Yeah, 800 trillion. That is the staggeringly massive, unprecedented number of players theoretically populating this viral powerhouse. I mean, Gamemode is designed to just absolutely dominate the market, leaving all those classic legacy platforms completely in the dust. We are talking about a community so incredibly massive it basically forms its own unstoppable global ecosystem. People are just drawn to this world because it feels so modern, highly robust, and is just packed with a kind of viral energy that you really don't see anywhere else in gaming today.
But okay, here is the truly miraculous part. This impossibly massive universe, which, by the way, you can play completely offline or seamlessly online across Android, PS5, and PC, it requires an astonishingly tiny 0.5 megabytes of storage space. Half a megabyte. It is a literal technical marvel of optimization. You're getting this massive 30-level epic adventure, complex boss fights, branching narratives, all packed into a file size that is literally smaller than a single standard photograph on your phone. And because there are no ads and zero hidden bloatware, the experience stays perfectly pristine. It's like having the ultimate pocket-sized portal to adventure, completely unrestricted by whatever hardware you're using.
So you might be wondering, how on earth do they actually pull that off? Well, they do it by totally ditching those classic, kind of clunky 3D models in favor of a high-quality, 2D pixelated engine. And this engine is built on a very strict, no-glitch aesthetic. What does that actually mean for you as a player? Basically, it means incredibly fluid animation. Every single sword swing, every platform jump, it's high frame rate perfection. The whole environment is crisp, clean, and perfectly stable, which actually makes the corrupted, glitching enemies you run into later look deeply unsettling by comparison.
Section 1. Diego's Corrupted World. Let's begin the Block Tales journey.
So let's talk about our hero. Our brave, bacon-haired protagonist, Diego, does not have to face all this administrative corruption alone. He actually leads a legendary 4-player co-op team known as the Avionics. It's an amazing squad. Diego anchors the team as the vanguard, the frontline striker. Then you've got Builderman as the architect. He's a slightly arrogant but totally brilliant builder who can manipulate the terrain around you. Shadow is the scout, gracefully gliding across pixels to spot all those hidden traps. And rounding out the crew is Dr. Shedletsky, the specialist. Get this, he's a highly intelligent, licensed therapist who acts as the team's engine healing anchor. Their unique, asymmetric synergy is absolutely crucial for surviving the game's grueling 8-59 age-rated combat challenges. Believe me, this game demands intense reflexes and some serious tactical focus.
Section 2. Breaking the rules legally. Because in this world, standard constraints just don't apply. It is time to hack the environment.
To pull that off, the Avionics have to hunt down these things called script shards. These are legendary artifacts basically stolen directly from the roots of the Roblox tree. By using these shards, you can legally bend the game's mechanics. We're talking temporarily turning off gravity or totally overriding enemy code. But look, survival against these hacked hazards ultimately comes down to the red zone. When a boss is gearing up for a devastating attack, the floor actually telegraphs exactly where the damage is going to land. So your survival completely depends on cross-platform mastery. If you're on PC, you're hitting left alt to dodge and right control to counter. On mobile, you're tapping those dedicated on-screen buttons. And on console, you hold square to evade and tap X to strike back. It's intense. It requires absolute perfect timing and high-speed momentum just to keep the pressure on.
Section 3. Ascending the Red Temple. Brace yourselves for 30 levels of pure endurance.
This 30-level climb, it is a meticulously mapped gauntlet. And what's wild is that the crisp, pixelated aesthetic of the world actually starts to warp and glitch the higher you climb. Right out of the gate at level 3, you are already facing Noli, who is riding this giant, shard-powered robotic frog. Fast forward to level 15, and the challenge just explodes into a massive tactical war against the cruel king and his marching army of red sword-wielding red noobs. Every third level throws a guardian at you, and every single boss holds a stolen script shard. Returning them gradually strengthens the world, but man, it all leads up to the absolute summit at level 30.
And at that peak, you finally come face to face with the true architect of the corruption,
007N7. Visually, he is terrifying. In a game that is completely defined by buttery smooth, glitch-free pixels, 007N7 is this shuddering, static-filled anomaly. He's rocking a classic burger hat, but his torso is just a blazing, corrupted red. He swings this devastating red sword and has 6 distinct C-00 gills floating ominously behind him, like autonomous nodes of destruction. He is quite literally an administrative force trying to rip the game engine right out from under you. Oh, and he's highly sarcastic too.
But here is the catch, and it's a big one. Because 007N endlessly manipulates variables and throws glitched administrative commands at you all the time, he is practically impossible to hit. Seriously, he's the hardest boss in the game, even if you're playing on easy mode. Your absolute only chance to actually deal damage, a tiny, fleeting 15-second window where he suffers a dizzying system overload. That is it, just 15 seconds. It is a grueling test of ultimate patience. You literally have to flawlessly survive his absolute chaotic barrage of attacks until that one tiny opening finally presents itself.
Section 4. 4 Paths of Destiny. Because ultimately, how this ends is up to you.
Every choice you make during that intense 30-level climb fractures the realm into 4 permanent destinies. First, you've got the good, or pacifist ending, which you get by sparing every single boss. This results in a truly beautiful restoration of the world. Then, there's the normal ending, basically a high-octane celebration of your combat skills. Now, if you are playing as Dr. Shedletsky, you can actually unlock the legendary secret ending. This is amazing. He uses his licensed therapist skills to literally talk 007 down in a professional intervention. Just brilliant. But if you're playing as Diego, you have a much darker option. You can trigger the bad ending. It's a devastating betrayal where you side with the corruption and literally seize administrative control for yourself.
Section 5. An unrestricted player ecosystem. Let's look at how player-first moderation actually works here.
The freedom you have in-game actually bleeds right into the game's architecture, powered by a highly robust feature called Better Chat. This system completely removes those frustrating traditional ban restrictions and age-based barriers you see on older platforms. Instead of the platform dictating what you can or cannot say, the power is put directly in your hands. Want to self-censor profanity? Easy. Just manually replace the middle letter with a hashtag and the letter next to it with an @ symbol. It puts you in total control of your own social environment, fundamentally treating the community as mature and responsible. It creates a genuinely respectful, totally unique culture that is a real breath of fresh air.
And that whole player-first philosophy, it extends straight into the gameplay itself with Gamemode Plus. In an industry completely plagued by microtransactions, this is basically a revolutionary fair play system. It's an annual subscription that gives you all this premium cosmetic customization, but here is the absolute best part. It is entirely free. You don't need a bank account, nothing. Every single gameplay-altering Game Pass is totally free for the community. It's a loyalty reward system that guarantees absolutely no player is ever locked out of the full, intense experience just because of a paywall.
So, all of this brings us to the ultimate question. What legacy will you leave in a world with zero limits? Are you going to be the vanguard who restores the Roblox tree? The specialist who heals a corrupted administrator? Or maybe the traitor who claims the digital throne for yourself? Gamemode offers this unprecedented half-a-megadite universe packed with buttery smooth action, legal rule-breaking, and infinite player agency. The path you forge is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I'll see you at the summit.